Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando, and on this channel sifunde incwadi ebhalwe ngolimi lwethu lesizwe bese siza la sizokhuluma ngazo le ndaba esuke siyifundile, senzela laba phela abangenaso isikhathi ukuthi bayifunde incwadi nalaba abasuke benqanda nje ukufunda. Siyaphinda futhi sibuka ama-reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese siza la sokhuluma ngawo lama-reality shows, senze ama-reviews or ama-recaps bese siyaphinda futhi sikhuluma nga-any other issues avukayo uma ngabe lama-shows sesiwabukile kwi-TV. Uma ngabe uyaqala ukusijoyina namhlanje and you really like our content, do not forget to press the subscribe button la ngezansi bese uyaphinda futhi upressa i-notification bell light uze uka-subscribe ukuze phela uthole umyalezo uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesiwufakile. Kanjalo futhi uma ngabe ufuna ukuba imember yale channel ungakhohlwa ukuthi upresse u-join button la ngezansi bese ulandela ama-instructions-ke ukuthi uba kanjani imember yale channel. Guys, eyi ingubo yami uma kuwukuthi ishwabene you guys, hey, I live in South Africa. Sometimes our right to water and electricity gets taken away. And they take it away at the same time. They are like, you're not going to have lights and you are not going to have water. Zibone na ukuthi wenzenjani. This is South Africa, survival of the fit. Oh, the fittest, and so we've accepted this abuse. Anyway, you guys, today I just want to talk a little bit about this article that I read, ekhuluma about our favorite housewife, Lapayana Lachonco. Listen, you guys, Pela, they do have lives away from the real housewives of Devon. They do other things. And I mean, a lot of the times, the things that they do outside of the show still interest us because we love them from the show. So we follow them even off a season. But as we know, in South Africa, we are dealing with a lot of cases and issues, the gender-based violence. And one of the cases that are going on right now is the murder of Namhla. And there's been a lot of talk about it on Twitter and all of the social media. And you guys, to be honest with you, I haven't really gotten into that story, like deeply into it, like getting the details, because honestly, like when I see the pictures make me so sad. Like I feel like it's a traumatic story to get into. Like emotionally, you have to be prepared. So if I'm going to do a video about it, obviously it's a very sensitive issue because this family has lost a member that was loved to them. So if we have to do videos on that issue, we have to be really sensitive. And you really never know when you do a video if you're going to say something that is going to make the situation worse for the family. And I don't ever want to be in that position. So I really have to think about what my take on the issue is going to be if I'm going to do the video on it. But it's really sad, you guys, and this is part of the reason. Even that lengthy post that her sister did, that I saw on Facebook, I really just couldn't read it. I looked at the pictures and I really couldn't read it because I knew that there was going to be like a sad story to read. But that is something that South Africa is dealing with right now. Like sometimes we feel like there is a break because there isn't a lot of stories that are being published, but at the back of our mind we know that there's so many women that are being killed out there, there's so many women that are being abused out there, and some they speak up, some they don't, and some they try to speak up, they try to go to the police stations to report and they're not being listened to. So we know, you know. And I've heard a lot of people, guys, just say, you know, you must just leave. If your partner is abusive, you must just leave. But what people really don't realize is that actually when you try to leave an abusive relationship, it becomes 10 times more dangerous because the abuser realizes that you realize that they are abusive and you won't stand for it. And that is when a lot of the women die, is when they are trying to leave. And I believe that in this situation, in this story, this is what happened. So a lot of the times, like when somebody talks about being in an abusive relationship, we are so quick to say leave, but what we don't realize is that we don't give them advice on how to live and live safely. How do you survive leaving that relationship? What resources do we have in South Africa to support women leaving these relationships? A lot of the times they have to stay in these relationships because even though their lives are at risk while they are in the relationship, but if they leave, they know for sure that they're going to die. It is such a sad situation. And I think that this is one of those situations when a woman just decided, you know what, I really just have to leave. If I die, I die. And unfortunately, she did die. It's unfortunate, and rest in peace to Namhla. So I came across an article that they had written about Unonkanyiso Chonco, and she talks about the issues of gender-based violence, and she had made this post on Twitter. Honestly, you guys, I think it's very important for people that are known and people that are famous and people that a lot of our kids look up to say something when it comes to these issues, because a lot of the times those are the people that the young women look up to, and it makes a difference when they say something, when they stand for something on a certain issue. So I really I feel like we need to appreciate the fact that they do, because they're also just human trying to figure life out. But for some reason, whatever that they say, because of the positions that they're in, because they're celebrities a lot of the times, uh, young women are likely to listen to that. So this is what Lachonco said. This is something that she wrote on Twitter, but then they wrote about it in the publication, The South African, written by Alicia Naidu, and this article was published. Izolo. There's a beautiful picture of Ulasi on this article. It says that the reality star and entrepreneur Nonkanyiso Chonco has weighed in on the issue of gender-based violence via a tweet on the 23rd of May. They say Lachonco is known for starring in the Showmax reality TV show Real Housewives of Durban. She's also well known for being the former fiance and baby mama of the former president Jacob Zuma. The pair have a 4-year-old son together. And this is what she said on Twitter: abusive signs, physical or emotional, in a relationship are sufficient for you to exit. I don't care what material things he has provided or experience he has given you. You have one life that you deserve to live peacefully and happily. That's what Nonkanyiso Chonco tweeted. And I love that you tweeted about it, guys, especially her mention uh, of the fact that it doesn't matter how much a man has given to you, because right now in South Africa there is this craze about dating men that can give you something, and I've said in my previous videos that the thing about pursuing relationships with these men that can give you so much of material things is that you always have to pay for those things sometimes, and sometimes you pay with your life. But I don't think that this was a situation here, because this was a woman that was independent. From what I've read, she had her own career, she had her own car, her own house. So this was not a situation right here. But I feel like in a lot of other situations, you might have a situation where a woman feels like if they leave a relationship, that they won't be able to afford a certain lifestyle, because then the man is no longer part of their life. And I think it's important that Ulachonco pointed that out, that if you are being abused physically or otherwise, there is a sign for you to exit. But like I said, you guys, we really need to think about how South Africa assists these women in living, because it's not like they don't want to live, but the thing is they want to survive after they live. And a lot of the time they don't have resources to protect them, so that they don't end up dead after they make that decision to live. So this article goes on to talk about GBV in a little bit, like in details. It says that GBV is a serious issue in South Africa. The murder of an Eastern Cape woman named Namhla Mtwa sparked an outrage on Twitter. Mtwa was allegedly shot and murdered inside her car by an unknown suspect while she was arriving in a Sitwadwa-based home in Umtata. Many believe her death was linked to GBV. Many women suffer in the hands of GBV in South Africa. According to the Times Live, Police Minister Bheki Cele revealed that 902 women were murdered in the third quarter of 2021/2022. From October to December, you guys, 11,315 women were said to have been raped. Can you believe it, guys? Like 11,000 between October and December last year. Like 11,000. Like I cannot even believe 11,315 women were said to have been raped during this period. However, people opposing women abuse have was convinced that the stats were not true reflection of what is happening. Honestly, I don't know if Power is saying that these stats are low or they're saying that the stats are high because it doesn't say in this article. But for me, you guys, like 902 women killed, 11,000 women just in 3 months, like in South Africa. That is a lot, and it's something that we need to pay attention to. And I think as well, you guys, when we get into relationships as women, of course, like it's not our fault that women get abused and then they get killed. A lot of the times, those things have to do with how men view women, but a lot of the times there isn't a lot that men do to make sure that other men don't do such things. So a lot of the times it depends. It's up to us as women to make sure that our guard is up when we get into these relationships. Like the first red flag that you see, like you notice it, don't ignore any of the red flags. Find out about people's past because people's past can tell you a lot about how they're going to behave in the future. They always say that the best predictor of somebody's future is their past. You only have their past. They might behave differently, but they are likely to behave the same. So it's very important that when we get into relationships with men, we don't just look at them now. Like you think about how they've lived their life. If you have to go on Google them, if you have to talk about people that have known them in the past, like do that because honestly, at this point, anytime that you get into a relationship, it might just be a life or death situation. But that is what the article was really about. I just wanted to acknowledge you guys because I think that it's a good thing. We talk about these women that are on these reality TV shows in a negative light sometimes, and I think that it's very important for us as creators as well. Like when they do something positive, that we also talk about it and commend them in doing that. And also, I hope that this video makes you think twice if you are about to get into that relationship and you already have seen a flag or a red flag or two, and you know that it makes you think twice about it. To see, is it really worth it? Even if that guy really has a lot of money, is it really worth your life? Because sometimes these relationships do cost us our lives. Anyway, guys, that was my video for today. Please like the video before Nipume and share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.